Well, hi everyone. If you guys, can you wave to me so I know you're all listening and you can hear? Okay, great. This is really cool. So I've never done anything like this before. You guys can see that I'm sitting in the studio in my office. And so, as Miss Jones said, it feels funny to call her that because we've been friends for a very long time. I work at a company called Glenmead, and Glenmead is an investment management company. So we work with high net worth individuals and families. And so when I say high net worth, that means people who have $5 million or more to invest. And I also work with foundations, endowments, and nonprofits that have $5 million or more to invest. And so my job here is not to invest their money, but what I do is I sell our services to people. So I go out and I meet with clients or potential clients every single day, and I explain to them what we do, how we do it, how we can work with them, and how we can hopefully turn their $5 million into $10 million or 10 million to whatever. So I am based in our Philadelphia headquarters, but we have offices in 7 different places in the U.S. So Philly, we have an office in New York, 2 in New Jersey, 1 in Delaware, 1 in Washington, D.C., and 1 out in Ohio. And I'm actually working on getting some clients down in Dallas. So maybe if I do, I'll be able to stop in person and see you guys, which I think would be really cool. So I'm sure Miss Jones told you we went to Howard University together, and I was a marketing major, so I was in our business school, and that's how I got started in this role. So I am going to stop talking, and I am going to open it up to you guys for questions, and I'll let Miss Jones help me facilitate all of the questions because I can't see everyone at the same time. But I think if you follow your protocol and unmute the phone and ask away, I'll answer anything you guys have.
And I'll say this, you can say Anika on the video. Other people have, so don't even worry about it. It's okay. I'm muting you. Make sure you say hello in your name. I can say me. I got you. Business.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Washington. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Good. Anyways, man, hold on. That's what I was going to ask. Oh, yeah. I was thinking in my head, I was like, what inspired you to do that?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's interesting because when I was in college, if someone asked me if I wanted to go into sales, I would say no, I didn't want to do this. And when I took my first job out of college, I did marketing, but I supported salespeople. And salespeople do a lot of things that I love. So I love to travel, and I love to meet new people and not do the same thing every day. And so when you're in sales and you're doing a sales job, you never do the same thing twice. Every day is a brand new day. I get to meet new people all over the country. And so it wasn't until I saw what salespeople did, because I kind of thought salespeople were like car salespeople, and they're not the most fun people to be around. But this is a different kind of sales, so it's not like that. And so that was really what made me want to get into the job that I have now. And also, raise your hands if you like money. Nobody likes money? I can't see any hands. Nobody likes money? So the other good thing about the job is you can have a pretty good salary. So that's always a good motivator too. It's not the only motivator, but in sales, the good thing about sales is there's unlimited upside and unlimited earning potential if you're making sales. Who else has a question?
Hi, my name is Mercedes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you feel like you're gonna end up changing your career?
Do I feel like I'm getting a little feedback. Do I feel like what?
Do you feel as if you're gonna change your career?
Oh, that's a really good question. Do I feel like I'm gonna change my career? Probably a little bit, for 2 reasons. So beyond my full-time job in business development, I also have my own personal shopping and styling company. And so I love to do that. And so I think I might at some point switch and do that full time. And then the other thing is I am not married and I don't have any kids. And so it makes it very easy for me to travel, but I travel sometimes for long stretches of time. So I might be away from my house for 10 days or 12 days and sort of going from Florida to Texas to California to Chicago and back to Philly. And I do know once I have a husband and I have kids, I probably won't be able to be away for that long. So I'll probably look at maybe switching things up a little bit. But right now, I really like my career. I like my job. I like what I do. So I'll stick with it until that time comes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hi, my name is
Hello.
Erika, and this is like an out-of-topic question, but what's your favorite food?
Oh, what's my favorite food? Well, I like to travel, so I'm a big foodie. So I like all sorts of different things, but I think my favorite is I like really good Italian food, and I like really good Indian food. And then my favorite, like actual food, if I could eat cheesecake all day, I would. I love cheesecake.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Jensen, and you said since you work with people that have a lot of net worth, have there been any notable customers or clients?
Ah, that's a really good question. So there are some notable clients, but we have really strict privacy rules about sharing names or information about our clients. So I can't tell you who the clients are, but I will tell you since I live in Philadelphia, we do have clients who are football players. We have baseball players. We have a couple of hockey players, and we have an author who happens to be one of my favorite authors. She is also a client here. So yes, we absolutely have some high profile clients. Unfortunately, I can't really tell you much more than maybe the sports that they play.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Hello, my name is Manuel Martinez, and I plan to tell you that if you will retire with this job or change job.
So, it's really funny because I always joke that the only way I'll leave my firm is one of two ways. Either I'll have to be rich enough to be a client, so I could retire from the job because I have a lot of net worth, or they'll have to roll me into the old folks' home. So I think unless I completely switch into the fashion industry or something like that, I'll still work here. I may not always be in sales. I might look at doing a marketing job or a client relationship job where I'm working more with the clients on a one-on-one basis. But I don't see myself really leaving. It's a really good firm to work for.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there other questions? I thought I saw a hand, but I don't know if that was because they were having a technical difficulty or there's a question.
It's a question.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask it? Oh, I know. Have you been to Victorville, California?
Have I been to where?
Victorville?
I have not been to Victorville, California, but I've been to San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Monica, Los Angeles, a bunch of other places in California. Are you from there?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
that's cool. How'd you end up in Texas?
Huh?
How'd you end up in Texas?
My mom decided to move here. Like, when I
How
was
old were you? Wait, how old were you when she moved?
3.
3?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you've been there ever since?
Mhm.
Cool. I moved a lot when I was younger, so I understand picking up and moving. I definitely get that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm back. I was trying to ask you, in your office, your business, did you ever have to fire somebody?
That's a good question. I personally have never had to fire someone. But yes, I have known people that have been fired from working here, and it's not fun. There's a lot of legalities and paperwork and things that go on, and the errors that you have to make are pretty egregious. So we're a pretty forgiving company. So nobody gets fired for making a mistake because we're all human. And people make mistakes. But have I seen it? Yes. It's not the most fun thing though.
Have you ever done any international business?
Yeah, so not at this company, but at a company I worked at before here, I actually got a chance to work over in London. So it was another investment company, but they were headquartered in a place called Aberdeen, Scotland, and so they had offices all over the world, in Scotland, in London, in Africa, in Thailand, obviously in the States. And so my job was to support their international investment products. So international equities, which are stocks and bonds, and global fixed incomes. Well, international equities are stocks, and then fixed income are bonds. And so I supported the international teams, and the international teams sat in London and sat in those other countries. So I got to work in London for about 4 months.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
Hi, I have another question.
Sure.
What's been your favorite places that you traveled to?
Wow. So I think my favorite place I ever traveled to for work is probably Arizona. I really like Arizona, especially when it's cold on the East Coast. Arizona's hot, but it's not unbearable. So that was my favorite place that I traveled for work. But I also travel a lot personally. And so I think my two favorite places I traveled personally, I really like Hawaii and Maui. And then I went to Dubai 2 years ago. And so I really, really like Dubai. And if you ever want to go to a hidden gem place that sounds boring but is a lot of fun, you should go to Brussels, Belgium. I had the best time when I went there. And a lot of people don't think to travel there, but it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. I'm back again.
Okay.
How much is for your salary for your job?
That's a good question. So I'm not going to give you a salary exactly, but what I'll do is I'll give you a range, and I'll tell you the range sort of working your way up. So when I first started working, which was I feel a little old. It was 12 years ago now. So probably a little bit after you guys were born, or maybe right around when you guys were born. I made $40,000 a year. And so, which is a decent salary when you're first coming out of college. And then as you go and you get older and you move on in your career, you can make more. So I won't tell you my exact salary, but I'll give you a range and tell you that it's between $85,000 a year and $115,000 a year. And so that's the base salary. And then in sales, you can usually make a commission. So that means every time I make a sale, I get a sales bonus or sales comp on that. And so the way my sales comp works here is I get 30% of the revenues from a new deal. So for example, let's just say I bring in a client and the revenue from that client is $100,000. So that's just like a nice round even number. That would mean that I would make $30,000 in sales compensation. So depending on how many new clients you bring in and how much their revenue is, you can, the upside in what you can earn is really unlimited.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How long does your service usually last for those people?
So our clients stick around for a really long time. So we actually track how long we keep our clients, and we have an average client tenure of about 12 years. So again, as long as, around as long as you guys have been alive, and as long as I've been working. Now, we have some clients that have been clients for 25 years and 30 years, and then we have some clients that are newer. So last year, I helped bring in 12 new clients. So they're all pretty new. But if you average out all of our about 250 clients, the average client tenure is just under 12 years.
All right, thank you.
My name's Haley, and I want to ask you, what's the most challenging part of your job?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I think there's two challenging things. So one is that the schedule can be really busy, so it's not always a 9 to 5 job. So this morning, for example, I got in at about 6:30 in the morning, and then sometimes I'll have events or things to go to. So just the days can be really, really long. And then I think the other thing is some people are more difficult to work with than others. So just like people at school might be tough to work with, or teachers might be difficult. Sometimes we have clients that can be a little bit difficult, and you always want to make sure that you're working with them and coming up with the best solution. So sometimes that's challenging.
I'm back again. How often do you get to see your family?
So my family lives all over the place. So I live in Philadelphia. My parents live in Virginia, and my brother lives in Columbus, Ohio. And so he's married and he has 3 kids. So I see my family on FaceTime every week, but I see my parents in person maybe like 4 times a year. And I see my brother and sister-in-law and niece and nephews 2 or 3 times a year. But my niece and nephews come stay with me for 2 weeks in the summer every year. So that's been really fun. But we do talk every Sunday on FaceTime. We have a family FaceTime.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Do you feel like you will move from Philadelphia, like to Texas or something?
I don't know if I would move to Texas. I don't know if I would move from Philadelphia. We have offices in other places, so it certainly would be an option. But I think right now I'm going to stick around in Philly.
And my other question is, what type of music do you like?
Oh, I basically will listen to anything but like hard rock and country. But I like rap. I like hip hop. I listen to gospel music. I listen to pop. So I listen to everything from Migos to Taylor Swift. Like, it runs the gamut. So everything.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
back. Dang, I forgot. Okay. Do you ever get to when you visit? Do you get to like go like tour around where you visit?
Yeah, if I'm there long enough. So I came down to Dallas on business, and it was not too long after Erika, or Miss Jones, had her baby. So I got to spend time with her and the baby. And then I have other really good friends in Dallas who live down there, and I got to spend time with them. So yeah, if I am in town long enough, I definitely try to go check out some of the sites. But sometimes I might fly in the morning and fly back home in the evening. So it just depends on how long I'm there.
Thank you.
Sure. These are really good questions, you guys.
Hey, my name is Fantasia. Why did you choose your job?
I picked it one because I like to travel and I like to meet new people, and I didn't want to sort of be like a number cruncher. So I figure this was a good way to still be involved in what I like, which I do like investments. I do like the money markets and things like that. But I didn't want to be a portfolio manager or someone who was trading stocks and bonds all day. So it's like the perfect marriage between the two, because I have to keep up on investments and know what's going on in the markets, but I get to talk to people and meet new people and travel around. So it's the best of both worlds.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go.
Did you always wanna? Did you have a different career option when you were little?
Yeah, when I was little, the first job I wanted was to be a scientist. And then the next job I wanted to be was to be a doctor. And I really thought I was going to be a doctor. So when I was in high school, I took like all honors science classes, and I was all good until I had to dissect a pig in honors biology. And they told me that when you go to medical school, you have to dissect a cadaver, so a dead body. And I was like, nope, can't do it. New plan. And so that's really when I decided maybe I should pick a different route. But yeah, up until, I think my sophomore, junior year of high school, I thought I was going to be a doctor. So, but I'm a little squeamish around blood and things like that. So it probably wouldn't have worked out too well.
I like blood.
I'm back again,
Okay.
and I got 2 questions. What's your favorite type of shoe, and what's your favorite type of shoe to wear?
My favorite type of shoe and my favorite type of shoe to wear.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to answer backwards. So my favorite type of shoe to wear, I'm a high heels girl. I have a lot of heels in my closet. I like all different brands, but because I'm on my feet and traveling and flying and things like that, I like some of the luxury designer brands because they last a lot longer, and you can take care of them. So right now I have a pair of Manolo Blahniks that I really, really, really love. But I also wear like Nine West and stuff like that. My boyfriend wants me to be more into sneakers because he's really into sneakers. So he's got me a couple pairs of sneakers that I'll wear on the weekends. But if I had my choice, I would wear high heels most of the time.
She look like she got some red bottoms.
I don't like red bottoms. They're not comfortable.
I'm back. I would like to tell you what class you think helped you the most.
Wait, what that's helped me the most?
Yes.
One thing that's helped me the most? Let's see. I think, as much as you're in school and you're reading books and doing all of your schoolwork and everything, I think one of the things that helped me the most is that I love to read. And so because I love to read, I read books, I read magazines, I read newspapers, I read blogs, I read everything. And so it makes you knowledgeable and you can relate to a lot of different people. And the ability to relate to a lot of different people who do a lot of different things is helpful, because you might be talking to a person in a family who doesn't really know about finance or investments and doesn't really care, but you need to connect with them so that they'll feel good about bringing their money to you. But maybe they're really into arts and culture or the ballet. And so if you have a lot of diverse interests and are able to read and know about different things, then you'll be able to connect with people on different levels.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, I'm back again. I was gonna ask you if you have I like to skate. Do you have any like skateboarders in your office?
So, funny story. One of my coworkers who sits right in front of me, he has this, I don't even know what it is. It's like an electronic skateboard. Do you know what those are?
Oh no.
So it's a skateboard, but it's electronic. So it's really cool. And he drives, because he lives in New Jersey and our office is in Philly. So he drives across the bridge and he parks, and then he skateboards into the office every day and skateboards back to his car. And then he like skateboards on the weekend. Yeah, he's really into it. And when he first brought his electronic skateboard in, everybody tried it and everybody almost broke their necks. And we have glass offices here, and so we were all scared they were gonna like hit the door and break the doors. But nobody did.
Erika,
Yes.
I'm going to clown a little bit with you since you're my friend. The students are trying to be funny. They're saying, is Miss McDaniel talking about a hoverboard? Please tell these children that we know what a hoverboard is, and you're not talking about it.
Okay, listen, I know what a hoverboard is, and I'm not talking about a hoverboard. First of all, hoverboards explode. But second of all, no, it's not a hoverboard. You know what I will do? I will find out from him the name of the skateboard, and I will send it to Miss Jones, and then she can tell you guys. I think that'll work, but it's not a hoverboard. I know what a hoverboard is.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, because they're being funny. They're being hilarious today.
I got another question.
Okay.
What's your like? Would you ever want a pet, or do you have a pet?
So I don't have a pet because I travel too much. I would be a horrible, horrible pet mom because I would never be around to take care of the pet. And I don't like cats, which are like kind of the only pets that you would be able to have and be able to travel as much as I do. So one day I will probably get a dog, but not before I'm able to be home a little bit more.
Okay, I think that we may be all questioned out for now, and this is just one period, and we might have one more question. Wait just a minute.
Oh, okay.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite emoji?
My favorite emotion?
No emoji, like.
Oh, my favorite emoji. I think the smiley face with the hard eyes.
With the heart eyes, like.
Yeah, the heart eyes, and it's a smiley face. I use that one a lot. And the kissy face.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one more.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. What is your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby? Shopping? Is that a hobby?
Yes.
I'm going to call that a hobby. I love to shop. And beyond that, I really, really like to read, like a lot. You guys know I like to travel a lot. And I like to spend time with like my friends and family and things like that. And I used to take sewing lessons, and I'm just getting back into sewing again. So I really like to do that.
What type of books do you like to read?
I like to read anything I can get my hands on, but I really like to read biographies and autobiographies, and then like what they call chick lit. So, like beach reads that you can read pretty easily and pretty fast. So I do a lot of reading. I take the train to work, so I can usually read one book a week when I ride to and from work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.